What's up, my bitches? If you are new here, hello, my name is Brittany. In today's video, I'm going to be comparing one of my favorite products of all time, the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. I'm going to be comparing it to the new KVD Beauty, the Modcon Liquid Gel Contour. So I was in store yesterday because I came across a Sephora at Kohl's, like 45 minutes away from me, and I actually swatched these in store, and that's what gave me the idea to do this, because when I swatched this, I'm like, this might be real fucking similar to the Charlotte Tilbury, and Charlotte Tilbury only comes in 2 shades. I feel like I'm always recommending this. I've talked about it, Jesus, for at least a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. I recommend this all the time. Sephora favorites. I know the VIB sale's coming up. I have all the retailers that I could find linked down below if you're interested in either one of these, but I just wanted to compare them. I'm going to use sponges. I'm going to use a brush. We're just going to see how this applies. I'm curious about it, and then I'll tell you some information about the product as well. So this is going to be solely dedicated just to this. Maybe we'll do our makeup throughout the video. We'll see. But hello to other bitches in the live chat. What's good? What's poppin'? Oh my god, I'm ready to go for today. So let's start with some info about the product, because I have not purchased from KVD Beauty probably since there was like a holiday, or not even a holiday. It was the all white packaging palette. It was like fine, but I used to be such a Kat Von D bitch. Like, back in the day when the brand first came out, I just think that they do a lot of things well. And I know, or at least this brand was owned by Kendo at one point, and I feel like Kendo does a great job at just being like inclusive with their shade ranges and stuff like that. So I just figure a lot of people seem interested in this, so that's why I wanted to try it out. So let's get into first the deets in comparison of the two products. So you got Charlotte Tilbury. It retails for $38. Very expensive. It's a luxury brand. You get 0.4 ounces or 12 milliliters, and there's only 2 shades. There's fair medium, and then I think it's like medium dark or something like that. So not an inclusive shade range really at all. I mean, within the 2 shades that they offer, it's, I guess, like there's a lighter and then there's a deeper one. But then you have the KVD one. You get $26, 0.5 ounces, so you get more, or 17 milliliters. And there's 8 different shades. So I wanted to show you first the shades that are actually on like the website. So this is the shades that you're getting with the KVD. And then with the Charlotte Tilbury, I mean, you're getting 1, 2. When you look at them side by side, you're like, oh, okay, the Kat Von D is much more impressive. It's very inclusive. You could see it clear as day right there. So, with that being said, already right off the get-go, KVD is looking much better than Charlotte Tilbury. It's less expensive. You get more product, better shade range. You get it. So then, since I was in store yesterday, I wanted to show you guys, because I was doing a little TikTok yesterday, and since I was in store, I was like, fuck it, let's swatch all of them just to see what they look like on my skin tone. So when you apply these, they look much deeper, but then where it reminded me a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury was, it feels like it's going to sheer out quite easily, but that's where we're going to be testing that today. So this is all the shades on my skin tone. Obviously, it's over tattoo, so you can't really get a super good visual. But that's all the shades. I picked up the shade light, medium, neutral. There's one shade that's deeper than this one. I feel like I probably could have gotten, I think it's just like medium warm or something like that. It would have better suited me if I was looking for more of like a bronzer. But this shade I think is going to work well for me for what I'm going to be using it for today. So that's all that information there for you guys. Again, I just wanted to compare them because another thing with the Charlotte Tilbury, it's really fucking hard to find. Like, this is an award winner. Everybody loves this. It just seems like it's always really difficult to get your hands on, especially in store. Like, this wasn't available in the store yesterday. I think it was either not in stock yet, or they were kind of like putting the store together still. So maybe a good alternative, we're going to see today. So let's start with, I'm going to do the Charlotte Tilbury on my right side, and then I'll do the KVD on the left side. I do have a fan on, so hopefully that doesn't, you know, mess with anything. So looking at the packaging, for the Charlotte Tilbury, you've got the sponge applicator, which not everybody's a fan of. This does have a locking mechanism. Make sure you use that, especially if you travel. I've had the, I didn't realize initially that it locked. So basically what I like to do, I unlock it, I squeeze the product that I feel like I'm going to need, and then I lock it after that. So it always looks like it's squeezed. So then, when you apply this, it's going to look hella intense, but this is where I always say, it's always, for me, ideal, like, for beginners with makeup, because see how intense that looks? I'm going to blend it out first with a sponge, and then I'll wipe everything off, and then I'll go in with a brush. But it's like, do you see how sheer this blends out? This is why I love this product so much, because it looks so damn natural. Now, if you want it to look even more natural, use a sponge. If you want it to look a little bit more pigmented, if you want it to be a little bit more precise as well, I would recommend using a brush, which is how I typically apply it. But I know a lot of people do apply products like this with a sponge. Thanks, girl. Lou says she loves my red hair. Happy Friday! How's everybody doing today? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, look how fast it blends out. This is why it's a holy grail for me. That's where if I could find this KVD one to be like a dupe or like a replacement, I'm going to be fucking hype. But I will say too, Charlotte Tilbury has 12-month shelf life. It's made in Italy. KVD is only a 6-month shelf life. So that's one thing to consider, especially for somebody like me, where I do have, you know, a more intense collection. So I typically don't go through products that quickly. Okay, so there you go. There's the Charlotte Tilbury. It's not as precise of an application, but you get it as far as with a sponge. But this is how, I know a lot of people use it. I personally prefer a sponge. So there's the Charlotte Tilbury. Let me give you guys a swatch too, so I can do a swatch comparison how each shade looks. So there's Charlotte Tilbury. Now let's go in to the KVD. I will say too, this packaging is way bigger than I thought. I thought it was going to be comparable to the one size concealer. So when I saw these in store, I almost like looked past it because I'm like, that's fucking huge. It almost looks like a mini size of like a foundation that you would get, you know what I'm saying? So I expected it to be more of like this size. So just so you could see a size comparison, you do get a pretty good amount of product. At least that's how it looks in the packaging. So you got the doe foot applicator. I think a lot of people are going to like that. You could be a lot more precise with this application as well. Like, look how look how precise we are right there. And then I'm just going to blend it with a sponge. I mean, it's blending just as easy as the Charlotte Tilbury. Let's see how it looks as a finished product, though, before I go and run my mouth too much. Because, you know, I'm known to do that from time to time. Sometimes I run my mouth too quick, and then I end up screwing myself with how the product looks. So let's do a little bit more on the forehead, because it's super precise. So I want to add just a little bit more to snatch this face. How we feeling so far? I do think that just looking at what I've applied so far, the Charlotte Tilbury, it does have more of like a skin-like finish to it. And then I feel like the Kat Von D is going to have more of maybe like a matte finish. But you guys will have to see. Or you guys will have to let me know. I just was reading a comment. Clarissa asked, do you use the darkest in Charlotte Tilbury? I don't. I use light medium. So I wish I could find the darker one in store yesterday, because I would have picked it up just to do a comparison. But let's see how... Like, I love how I could apply that so precisely. I do like the packaging a lot with the KVD one. I'm more curious, though, to use this with a brush. Alright, so sponge application. What do we think? Which side do we like more? I personally, I'm liking the way that the Charlotte Tilbury looks better, just because it has that luminosity to it. But I mean, this doesn't look bad. It blends out super easy. The shade looks like it's nice for my skin tone. I probably could have went a little bit deeper. Let me give you guys a swatch of the KVD next to the Charlotte Tilbury, just so you can see the what you call it, shade comparison. There we go. And then again, I'm using light, medium, neutral for the KVD, and then fair, medium for the Charlotte Tilbury. So let me know what you guys think with each one. I think this would be a product, though, like, if I wasn't comparing them side by side, I wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. But one thing with the Charlotte Tilbury, you could see that I, like, over-applied it. But where I typically use a product like this anyways is underneath my foundation, so that's not, like, a huge deal. But if you're using it on top of foundation, the precise application of this side, the KVD, might be a little bit better for you. So I'm just going to wipe this off with my makeup wipe, and then I'm going to go in with my brush just to see how I would personally use this, which one I'm going to like better. But let me know in the live chat, which one do you guys like? I mean, I think the shade is really nice for me. Like, I'm not mad at this at all. The Charlotte Tilbury does dry down a little bit faster as well. That's going to be light medium blended out as well. Huh. I'm so curious to see how this goes with a brush now. Do you guys like when I do these comparison type videos as well? You'll have to give me my feedback because I don't do these that often, but, you know, something fun for midday, why not, right? Okay, let's go in again. I'm going to let my face dry down. Let me face my fan real quick. Let my face dry, and then I'll start applying everything. So, going back to the Charlotte Tilbury, doing the same thing. 3 little dots. I'm going to use my Luxie 512. This is what I typically use because I like this with a brush application for precision, but then also so you could really see the pigmentation of it because of how sheer it is. So this is how I personally recommend using it, but I know not everybody loves using brushes. I was there at one point, so I understand. I never used to use makeup brushes. I hated it. They gave me the heebie-jeebies before. So let me blend out the 5 head. Do you see how natural this looks, though? It's so funny, because when you see it, it's like, oh my god, that's so intense. But then when you blend it out, it's like, yup. Yeah, so Victoria said the KVD is more warm tone. I totally agree. Which I actually like. But the one thing that I feel like I've always loved about the Charlotte Tilbury is it's got, like, the perfect undertone. Because when I think of contour, I always think cool toned. And cool tone does not work for me. So you see how fast I was able to do that? I feel like a brush is much faster as well. So let's try the KVD with the brush. The true test. Boom. All right, Luxie 512. Actually, I have another one of these. Let me grab my other one just so we, oh, maybe not. All right, let me just wipe it off. As usual, wiping it off on my pants. Alright, so let's see how this goes. I mean, same sort of a vibe though, like, see how fast that blends out? It applies super intense. Ooh, I think I even look more snatched with this side. I'm fucking here for this. Ooh wee! I'll apply my foundation on top too, just so you guys could see what it looks like, but I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. This little section right here, I can't tell if it's my skin or if it's the product. It seems like it's a little funky right there. We'll see how it works on the forehead. Oh, let's see. Only medium dark is available. That's exactly where I was just like, if this is something comparable, because Charlotte Tilbury, it's so hard to find. I have, I think, 4 different retailers down below. So if you want to check out the links, you may be able to find the lighter shade, but something must be going on with Charlotte Tilbury as far as, like, her product availability. Like, all of her Beauty Light ones are sold out. Like, it just seems like her products are always out of stock, which I know their soup's popular. Yeah, it's like right here. I think when I put my foundation on, though, it'll look fine. It's just, I'm noticing it's, like, funky right there. So it's not as flawless of an application, but then again, look, like the forehead is not having that problem, so I wonder if it's like my texture. The texture on my face, or if I have like breakouts, because sometimes that's really common for me when I have like active breakouts or texture. Like my products will accentuate it, but I think that's the product itself though. That doesn't look like it's really accentuating any texture. So just be mindful. But you could see the pigmentation a lot better. But like on my chin, it's not doing that either. I think this gives my skin, like my, it gives me great shape. I think it's just because this is so precise, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like snatched. Forehead looks great. The only area that I'm like, questionable is right here. I forgot to mention too, I picked this up at Sephora, which normally I shop at Ulta when products are available there. But I wanted to try the Boom Boom Body Scrub. This is one thing I feel like Sephora does better than Ulta, is the samples that you get with purchase. I also got the Mr. Burberry Indigo, and I also got one more sample. What was it? It was like the Dr. I forget what they're, what the hell they're called. They're basically like the Beta Peel, facial peel wipes or something like that. Excellent product. So I was like, oh yeah, we're going to order at Sephora so I can at least try the Boom Boom Scrub. So there's that. So looking at my face, do we like Charlotte Tilbury or do we like the KVD? I feel like Charlotte Tilbury definitely looks softer, more natural, and this is again what I really love about it. This will be something, that fucking cheek is really driving me crazy. This side though, I think is going to be more ideal for me if I want something that's more glam, like if I want to look really snatched. And then the Charlotte Tilbury is just, I could use it whenever the fuck I want, because I can use it when I want to look snatched. But I feel like overall the most appealing thing about this though with the Charlotte Tilbury is how natural it looks. Like any skin type could use this. The only thing that is really fucking up this product is the shade range. Like if she extended it like the KVD, boom. But I mean, I'm not mad at it, but it doesn't look as good as Charlotte Tilbury. So let's add some foundation and concealer on top just to see, you know, because when I add these products, when it looks like this, it sometimes doesn't matter. So let's see how everything like works on top of it. I'm going to use the Lancome, the Teint Idol Concealer. And then too, if you're new, you're going to get like a brief how I apply my makeup, because I know a lot of people apply their makeup different than I do. I do more of like the underpainting technique. So I'm going to blend this out with just my BK, the 101. And then we'll get that foundation on top. But this is where it's like so natural, so beautiful. I do like the KVD, although it's yes, I really like the shade of the KVD. I thought like seeing the swatches, I'll show you guys again. Seeing these swatches in person, I thought light medium was going to be a lot cooler, but then comparing it side by side to the Charlotte, it's not cool, like, at all. I feel like it's like a perfect neutral, so I am real excited about that it's not as cool as I was expecting it to be. If you guys are curious, I've been testing out both of these concealers, the Lancome and the One Size. I personally prefer the Lancome over the One Size. I think it's more natural looking. The One Size I like for probably more of like event, because it's hella coverage. I see Cassie say hi, boo-boo. Lisa says she's loving the KVD. Ooh, see, sometimes you guys see things different than I do. But I think where I'm going to really gather my thoughts is when everything's done, because again, like, this doesn't bother me as long as it doesn't like translate when I put foundation on top of it. So there's all of my concealer. The Lancome concealer is fire, in my opinion. It's super natural. It reminds me of like a Dior Forever. That's the vibes it gives me. Now for foundation, what do I want to use? Let's use one that I know works amazing. Let's use Dior Air Flash. Because this is like my favorite foundation of all time. And then too, you're going to see how I apply it. So this is how I always apply my Air Flash. I spray a couple spritz, and then I'll go in and then just kind of build where I feel like I need the coverage. I'm going to go over this with less product on. How we looking? How we looking? Take a little bit more when I feel like I'm out. Do the other side. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury side. And I basically am able to edge up and then just kind of marry everything together, from the contour, the concealer. Okay, looking at these side by side, I like the Charlotte Tilbury because you see, it's just right here that I don't love how the Kat Von D looks. But let's keep going. Let's go to the forehead. We'll drag it down the nose. Like, if I were to see this, I would basically just go right over it with my foundation, just to hopefully calm its tits just a little bit as far as how intense it looks. I'm seeing what you guys are saying in the live chat. I feel like One Size is a very full glam brand because, oh, hell yeah, I totally agree. So, I mean, like, with the One Size concealer, I expected that. But I was just like, oh, if this was more natural, it would be everything. It's just like a preference thing. Like, I should know better. But you're totally right. That's just what I'm expecting from now on, especially with his brand, is everything's going to be snatched. Like, full glam. And it makes sense. Like, that's his brand, you know? Alright, let's pull the... My hair always sticks to my face. Ah! My hair's a mess right now. Like, the color looks great, but the cut is tragic. Okay, this hair, I'm like fucking this up right now. We're just gonna carry on. Okay, let me add, this is another thing I like to do. Little spritz. And then just blend. I love this foundation so much. Okay, so I need you guys to weigh in. Which side do you like more? We've got Charlotte Tilbury. This just looks like perfect skin, right? It looks like a perfect contour. Everything is like perfection, right? And then we have the KVD. It's just that, yeah, it's just that little area right there where I'm just like, I don't know if I love that. What I want to do now, though, something so different. I never do this. But just to see for shits and gigs, because if people apply more over the top, let's see how it looks on top of product. Alright, I'm going to use a brush just because that's what I do. Let's use Charlotte Tilbury first. Because this is another thing I love about this product. Like, basically all of the Beauty Light wands, I feel like they play so nicely over the top of products. Charlotte Tilbury reigns supreme! Yes! Alright. I'm just going to do the cheekbones for this one. So let's do... I'm going to do this side a little bit different. I'm going to try doing, like, little swipes, because maybe that will be better. Instead of just doing the dots. And then I'll go in. And I want to see if this, you know, if it messes with my foundation at all or anything like that. It's definitely, like, both of them have a very liquidy consistency to them. I think application is going to be where a lot of people, like, I think a lot of people will probably prefer the KVD because it doesn't have that, like, sponge applicator. I think a lot of people will really like that, the actual wand, but I don't know, it doesn't bother me at all. So it's like, this is still nice, but again, I don't think it plays as nicely. I'm going to do the forehead just so I can see, but it's like, I feel like I've got a lot of pigmentation down here. I've got pigmentation here, but in the center, it's not as pigmented. I don't know, it's just not as even as your Charlotte Tilbury. So there's that. Let's go over to the forehead. And we'll do brush again. And if you missed it, I'll link down below the brush because I love this brush for this purpose right here. I really like the e.l.f. brush too, but this is the Luxie 512. I don't know, man. It's like on the forehead, this looks fucking bomb. I almost want to put it on the other side. Maybe in a future video, I'll do it on... I mean, I'll obviously keep using this just to keep testing it because... I don't know, I'm like, is it because of this side of my face? Because it's like, I always have that right there, but it just doesn't look as even. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Like, forehead, it looks bomb. But I'm going to say, in my opinion, if I am judging it by just off of using this for the first time, I'm going with Charlotte Tilbury just because this is more of like my makeup aesthetic. I think if you like a more intense sort of a situation, if you want something that's not nearly as natural, I still feel like it looks natural, and I don't think anybody would like clock me for this. I think that Charlotte Tilbury is just overall a better product. Here comes Shannon, as per usual. Hi! Okay, love you. Always interrupting us. But I think overall, I just like everything about the Charlotte Tilbury. Since it's my holy grail, I'm very judgy when it comes to comparing products, and nothing, in my opinion, tops this. Even the new KVD. You know what? I see Anne says swap sides. Let's do it, because this didn't take me that long. Where are we at? 25 minutes. If you guys enjoyed the video or are enjoying the video, give this video a good old thumbs up. Don't forget. And then some people are probably like, all right, that's enough. I don't need to see anymore. But you know what? This is the beauty of lives. I can give you guys what you want to see. Oh my god, I just love that foundation. Every time I put it back on, I'm like, oh, it's just so beautiful. Look at... When I say I have reactive skin, guys, this is what I mean. Like, when I touch my face, how red it gets, but then it just, like, calms down relatively quickly. So we're going to switch sides and see if maybe that is it. Because if you look at my face, you see how I've got texture and, like, pigmentation right there? I may want to conceal, because on this side I don't really have that. I've got this little pimple back here, but that'll be fine. So this may be a little lesson for us. Like, if you're using either, you may want to conceal. So let's see how we go. I'm not going to conceal for today, but let's see. All right, so I'm going to do KVD first, and we're going to go on this side. I'm like, wait, what side did I just do? All right. Quick application. Wipe my brush off, and then let's do the damn thing. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, it's like that application right there reminds me so much of Charlotte Tilbury. Like, as far as how quick and easy. It looks so much better on this side. It must be. So, okay. Maybe if you have situations like I do, like the redness right here, the texture, you may want to prep your skin accordingly, conceal beforehand. This looks way fucking better on this side. See, this is where I get myself into trouble. I talk too much shit too quick. And then you guys give a good old recommendation. I try it, and then it's like, oh shit. Alright, so let's keep going. Do the 5 head. Yeah, it's like, look how fast that is. That's an insanely quick application. Love that. Okay. Shit, I might eat my words. Snatch the chin. That double chin. Kiki says she still likes the Charlotte Tilbury. I think I'm, like, totally biased towards it as well, but I ain't mad at this on this side, though. I wasn't mad at it on the other side either, but that looks a hell of a lot better. Look, I got a pimple coming through. That looks so much better on this side than it did on the other side, and it's super easy. Okay, let's do Charlotte Tilbury. Let's see if we still have the same problem. Wipe this off just so there's no transfer of product. I probably need a little bit more because I haven't squeezed any more out. So let's see if Charlotte Tilbury does that same thing. It doesn't look as even, I don't think, as like it did on the other side, but it doesn't look as bad, though, as the KVD did. I'm going to add a little bit more. Hold on, I got to unlock this and squeeze a little bit more product. I do want to add, because it wasn't as dark either. So let's add this right here. Do you guys ever use products like this? I feel like if you're watching, you probably are. Or you're wanting to, like, get into products like this. Yeah, that looks way more natural, but you see how it still has that more harsh line right there? I would need to conceal right back here first. But it does look better than the KVD did, just at least in my opinion. Alright, boom. Close that up, blend it out. What do you guys think? Are you guys more here for it? Which one do you guys prefer? I'm always curious because sometimes it doesn't translate the same. Sometimes I like things that are different, you know? So, cast your votes. I mean, I think, here's what I'm going to say. I think if you've been wanting the Charlotte Tilbury, and the shades you don't feel are going to match you, or you can't get your hands on it and want to try a product like this, the KVD would be, like, worth a try. Alright, so looking at it side by side, we got KVD on this side, and then Charlotte Tilbury. I still think Charlotte Tilbury looks so much more, like, softer and natural, but it's also a lighter shade than what I have in the KVD. But I'm like, I am not mad at that whatsoever. So I think if you've been wanting to try the Charlotte Tilbury, you can't get your hands on it, whatever the case is, or if you don't think that this is going to work for your complexion, this may be a good alternative for it. Just be mindful, you may want to conceal in areas if you have situations like I do. And I would say, like, less is more as far as, like, blending goes, because I think maybe I could have, like, over blended when I got, like, the space between. Let's do the foundation and concealer again really quick just to see how everything looks on top. And then that will be it for today's video. But it's like, if I was to wear both of these out right now, I don't think anybody would be able to clock it for like, oh, her shit's uneven or anything like that. People would probably just be like, oh yeah, it's the same product, right? At least that's what I think. I don't think anybody would be able to tell for that one. Let's see. Alicia says, I would probably give the KVD a try. Let's see. Charlotte Tilbury all the way. Charlotte Tilbury looks more natural. Amanda, you know the contour wand is my jam. For real, it's so bomb. If you haven't tried the contour wand, I would still strongly suggest it. But if you could get your hands on it, that's a different story. And then the Lancome concealer, I highly recommend this one. I think it's beautiful. So natural. Just enough coverage for what I like. I would say it's like a medium coverage. Look, you're getting another review in this video too. So, I really like this one. And then let's go in with some more Dior. Air Flash. I wear the shade 3.5N as well, if you guys are wondering. This is one. I know guys, the VIB sale's coming up. This is a foundation I'd 100% recommend. Like, number one, if you're going to grab a foundation at Sephora, I'm going to need to get another one or two for my sale. Do you guys want to see a Sephora Loves List declutter this time around? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that relatively soon. And then I asked you guys on Instagram yesterday. These both look so pretty. Like, that looks so good. Okay, I'm going to eat my words on that last go round. What the fuck was I just saying? Oh, I asked you guys on my Insta story yesterday if you guys would want to see like a fall palette collection, or if you want to see top 10, and everybody was saying both. So those videos will likely be coming. I'll probably do the collection first. Like, basically all the brands or all the palettes that I would reach for in the fall. That's what it's going to be. Oh my god, I'm almost down to the bottom of this foundation and I'm so sad. Let's see. Would Charlotte Tilbury be on Look Fantastic? I didn't see it, but I also didn't check their website. But if it is, I'll link it below after. I'll check like as soon as I'm done. Okay. This, like, they both look fantastic. Charlotte Tilbury. You know what? I fucked myself right there because I have this little mirror right here that's a little bit more lit. Let's take that. I should have did that before. I didn't even think of that. My bad, guys. So we got Charlotte Tilbury on this side. That's why, like, all of my lighting is the exact same. Charlotte Tilbury, KVD. Like, right now, I like how this looks better. Shit! So, I honestly think this is a good alternative. But just be mindful, 6 months shelf life, you get 12 months with the Charlotte Tilbury. This Charlotte Tilbury, like, you don't get a lot of product, but it really lasts a long time, and it doesn't feel like you get a lot of product, but I don't know. I use this all the damn time, and it lasts me, like, 6 months to a year with how much I use it. I would say it more, like, towards a year, but let's see. We've got made in Italy with this one. I don't know if Charlotte Tilbury is considered, like, vegan, cruelty-free, but I'm pretty sure that KVD Beauty is. Does it say where this is made? This is also made in Italy. Guys, I think these are close to one another. I'm happy with both. It's just gonna come down to personal preference. What do you guys think? I'm so much happier with the, the KVD on this side. So you guys will have to let me know in the comments what you guys think, which was your fave. This is, again, why I like doing live videos, just so you guys can see the entire process. You can't fake this shit, okay? So if you guys enjoy these comparison type videos or, like, dedicated videos to products, let me know. But this one, you know, I'm going to do it for it. I'm going to do it. This was a hit for me today. We had a little bit of a journey, but you know what? If I ran out of this and I couldn't get my hands on it, I would still go for this one. I mean, if I have to pick, though, I'd probably go with Charlotte Tilbury because I do really like this packaging, but I know that's like a deal breaker for a lot of people. So if you've been wanting to try this, for whatever the case is, you can't get it, you don't like the packaging, whatever. Very reminiscent formulas, though. I just think that the Hollywood Contour one has a slight more luminosity to it than the KVD, but it still looks super duper skin-like. That's just me and my humble opinion. Feel free to cast your votes, opinions in the not the description box. I fill out that. You guys to the comment section. If you guys are shopping any of these, I do have links down below if you guys are interested. And then I would recommend, you know, like at this point, like hold off till either Ulta coupon or VIB sale. That's probably when I would pick it up, is during the VIB sale. So guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up or thumbs down. That's cool too. I appreciate you all watching, even if you hate watching. Other than that, I will be back on Sunday for my liquid cream highlighter declutter. So that should be a doozy. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Okay, bye!